Hey, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Ridge High School in Mason. Tom Garbison for Southwest Center. My play coverage in the 2013 Cleats Classic Invitational. And we're underway in another pool game as the Millennium Tigers face off against the Notre Dame Saints. And for Millennium, Sammy Reimer, the leadoff hitter. He's up there with a count of 1 ball and 1 strike. And now a foul ball down the left field side, and it's 1-2. So Reimer leading off, playing left field. Josh Rojas will bat second for Millennium. And then Mike Tanucci third. The 1-2 pitch. Looked pretty good. Called the ball, and it's 2-2. Hudson Lambert gets the starting nod for Notre Dame in his 2-2 pitch. And sure enough, Reimer goes around, tried to check his swing and could not. And he strikes out for the first out in the ball game. And with 1 out, the batter is Josh Rojas. Notre Dame, the 2 late games here tonight at Desert Ridge, so they have not played yet today after splitting their games yesterday. And the first one to Rojas. And a fly ball. That's hit well out to center field. And just in front of the warning track, the catch is made. And a nice play out there in center field for Jimmy DeTroya. And Rojas flies out for the second out. Millennium in search of their first win in pool play, as they lost 2 yesterday and then lost right before this ball game. They lost to Desert Mountain 11-1 as Mike Tanucci takes ball 1. 2 outs, base is empty, just getting settled in here. And the pitch over the outer half of the plate for a strike, and it's 1-1. Notre Dame split their games yesterday, so they sit at 1-1 in pool play. As the count moves to 1-2 on Mike Tanucci. A.J. Diggs, the shortstop, next for Millennium. The 1-2 pitch. And a swing and a miss. Tanucci down on strikes and decided to retire. 3 up, 3 down go the Tigers after a half inning of play. It's Millennium nothing, and Notre Dame coming up. Notre Dame ready to go in the bottom of the first inning. And Toby Foppe leads off and sinks low for ball 1. The 1-0 pitch. Well, it's a called strike, and it's 1-1 from Mike Tanucci. And a fly ball out to right field. And that's put away in right. And the leadoff hitter retired for Notre Dame in the bottom of the first inning. And the batter is Cooper Samples. So kind of like the situation we had in the game before. Because we're running late, again, we haven't gotten into the story yet here today, but there was a game scheduled for 10 o'clock today, the first of 5 games at Desert Ridge, as the first one is fouled off. That game scheduled to start at 10 o'clock. For whatever reason, whether it was a scheduling issue or some sort of a commitment thing or something like that, umpires didn't get here and get the first game started until about 11:40. And we've been playing catch-up the rest of the day. So they're kind of forcing the things, getting field done quickly, umpires getting out, getting the lineups a little bit faster than you might normally see. And so we're working on trying to get lineups into the scorebook to kind of settle in here as we play in the bottom of the first. 1-2 pitch, swung on and missed for Samples as he goes after a high fastball, and there's 2 away in the inning. And the batter is Devin Durant. Millennium went 3 up and 3 down in the top of the first inning. Notre Dame's first two hitters retired in the bottom of the first. And the first one just off the corner and called a ball. The 1-0 pitch. And that's hit down the left field line, but foul. And it's 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss on a changeup, and it's 1-2. And Tanucci. Oh, that one comes up and in, and that hits Durad. And he is over at first base. So hit batter puts a runner at first with 2 outs for Nick Affronti. And Affronti with a swing and a miss. Well, the next pitch just a bit outside apparently, and it's 1-1. Runner at first and 2 away. Bottom of the first inning, no score. Turn and a throw to first base, and just getting back over there at first is Durad. See, as we moved over toward first base, a little bit of an impediment as far as the field of vision there as that pitch is over for a strike. There's a canopy covering the people at the scorer's table behind home plate, and it is a small bleacher set behind home plate here at Desert Ridge, just 5 rows. As the next one is low, and it's 2-2. And the set and a 2-2 pitch. And that's up and in, and it's 3-2. Runner will take off here, 3-2 with 2 outs. And the pitch misses for ball 4. A fly out and a strikeout start the inning. Now a hit batter and a walk. And Notre Dame has 2 aboard with 2 outs for Ryan Scott. Now Scott ready. And he drives one into right center field, and that's going to split the outfielders and go all the way to the fence. And Scott's going to try for third base. The throw goes that way, and he slides in. It's a 2-run triple. And Notre Dame has 2 runs in the bottom of the first inning. Now Duncan Morfitt. And Morfitt takes high for ball 1. You know, that's what hurts. It's not just the triple, it's the hit batter and the walk ahead of it. As Morfitt swings and misses, and it counts 1-1. Jimmy Halloran running the courtesy runner for Scott at third. And a swing and a miss. Morfitt coming out of his shoes there, and the count goes to 1-2. The 1-2 pitch. And that's inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And a 2-2 fouled off. And a 2-2 swung on and missed. Morfitt strikes out to end the Saints' first inning, but Notre Dame gets a couple of runs. They do it with one hit. There was also a hit batter and a walk, and one runner left on after one inning of play. It's Notre Dame 2 and Millennium nothing. A.J. Diggs leads off in the second inning for Millennium and takes strike one. So it's Reimer, Rojas, and Tanucci. We saw them in the first inning. And then A.J. that's fourth. Okay, Ludus, the catcher, is fifth. Avery Weems starts first base and bats sixth. Aaron Diggs in center field is seventh. Jalen Cook in right is eighth. And Gio Lopez, the third baseman, bats ninth. Next one low, and it's 2-1. The 2-1 pitch on the outside corner, a strike, and it's 2-2. The 1 and the 2-2 pitch. And a swing and a miss. Diggs strikes out. First out of the inning, strikeout number 3 already for Hudson Lambert. Now Ludus, the catcher. First one that misses for ball one. And the next one on the outside corner, a strike, and it's 1-1. The 1-1 pitch lifted into center field. Detroit there, and he's got it for out number 2. Two away in the inning, and the batter is Avery Weems. And the first 1-2 Weems is outside for ball one. So Lambert has retired the first 5 he has faced. And a fly ball into center field. Detroit get another chance out there, and he'll put it away, and the side is retired. 6 up and 6 down for the Tigers after an inning and a half. Millennium trails Notre Dame 2-0. Bottom third of the order for Notre Dame in the bottom of the second inning as Hunter Bross starts it off, and Bross takes inside for ball one. Bross, Young, and Detroit for Notre Dame in the second. And the 1-0 pitch is inside. 2 balls and no strikes. And the next one fouled off, and it's 2-1. The 1 and the 2-1 pitch. And a grounder foul over by the Notre Dame dugout on the third base side. Notre Dame with 2 runs in the first inning on only 1 base hit. 2-2. And Bross lays off. On the appeal, Bross did not go around. Still 3-2 the count. And a line drive, and that's a base hit into left field. And a leadoff base hit for Hunter Bross and the Saints here in the second inning. And the batter is Devin Young. Notre Dame comes into this one 7-3 overall, 1-1 in pool play. Pitch over for a strike to Devin Young, the Notre Dame third baseman. The one strike pitch. And it's a breaking ball over for a strike, and it's 0-2. Turning to throw to first base, and close over there, but just getting back is Bross. And the next pitch high, and it's 1-2. Two nothing Notre Dame. Saints batting in the bottom of the second. Another throw. That one bounces in and gets away from Weems. And that's going to bring the runner around second base. Now he's going to try for third. And the throw not in time. So a two-base throwing error on the pickoff attempt at first. And Notre Dame gets a runner to third base with nobody out. Millennium's going to bring the infield in with nobody out here in the second inning, down 2-0. And the first one is bounced in, or the next one rather bounced in, 2-2. Make it 3-2, I guess. And a fly ball out to shallow center field. Runner's going to tag as the catch is made. Now they hold the runner. And so Young with a fly out. And that's the first out in the Saints' second inning. Bross stays put at third base. And the batter is Jimmy DeTroya. And the first one to DeTroya, high for ball one. Runner at third base, one out. Still 2-0. And the pitch is low, and it's 2-0. Infield stays in for the Tigers. As the next one is low, and it's 3-0. Well, you don't necessarily want to get back to the top of the order with guys on base, but if you put this guy on, you set up a double play possibility. But first a pitch over for a strike from Tanucci. 3-1 on Jimmy DeTroya, the number 9 hitter and the center fielder for Notre Dame. And a ground ball, that's foul on the third base side, and the count's full at 3-2. And a breaking ball. This is a fly ball into shallow right. Cook over to get it. Again, the runner holds. And they're 2 away in the second. Bross still at third with 2 outs, and it's back to the top of the order for the Saints for Kobe Foppe, the shortstop. And a fastball from Tanucci over for a strike. And now Tanucci steps off. 2-0 Notre Dame. Saints still batting in the bottom of the second inning. And a ground ball foul over on the third base side. Saints got a leadoff single in the second inning, and then Aaron throwing a pickoff attempt at first sent the runner all the way around to third. But Notre Dame hadn't been able to get him in. 2 fly ball outs. And that went off the handle and fouled back, and we stay at 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes on Foppe. Cooper Samples next for the Saints. And the 0-2. And a fly ball out to left field. This will send Reimer back. But he's under it, and he makes the catch. 3 fly ball outs in the Saints' second inning. And after 2, Notre Dame still leads Millennium by a score of 2-0. Bottom third of the order for the Tigers in the third inning. And the first pitch to Aaron Diggs over for strike 1. Diggs, Cook, and Lopez in the third inning for Millennium. As the next one is inside, and it's 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. And this is outside, 2 balls and a strike. And the 2-1 pitch. And a ground ball over to the right side. And no play. Samples able to keep it from going into right field, but that's all he can do there. And it's the first base runner and the first base hit for Millennium. Leads off the third inning, and with Diggs aboard at first base, the batter is Jalen Cook. Bunt shown, runner takes off, the ball slapped out of play on the third base side. So a lot going on there for Millennium. No balls in a strike, the throw goes to first base, and diving back is Diggs. And the ball bunted first base side. It's picked up, and the throw on to first base in time, but the sacrifice successful. So Cook out on the sacrifice as Diggs goes to second, and the batter is Gio Lopez. And we'll be back tomorrow with select games from the elimination bracket, and then we'll have both semifinals plus the championship game on Thursday here in the Cleats Classic Invitational. As the pitch is high for a ball. And the next pitch just off the plate, and it's 2-0. 1-on-1 out, top of the third inning. Millennium trailing Notre Dame 2-0. And a ball hit out to the shortstop Foppe. And his throw to first base is in time as the runner moves from second to third on the 4-3 ground out, 6-3 ground out rather for Lopez. And there's 2 away for the leadoff hitter, Sammy Reimer. First pitch a little bit low for ball 1. Now the set of the 1-0 pitch. Bounced in and blocked by Scott to keep that runner at third base. Lambert with the set and the 2-0 pitch. And that's at the knees for a strike, and it's 2-1. 2-1 pitch. Tardy swing for Reimer, and he fouls it out of play. Millennium trailing Notre Dame 2-0 with the Tigers batting in the top of inning number 3. The 2-2 pitch. And that's inside, 3-2. And the 3-2 pitch. And a ground ball, and that's through and into center field for a base hit. Reimer with an RBI single, and Millennium's on the board in the top of the 3rd. So Reimer delivers the single as Diggs scores. Millennium now trails 2-1. And the batter is Josh Rojas. And the first one to Rojas low for a ball. And the next pitch high and away, and it's 2-0. Two balls, no strikes on the number 2 hitter, Josh Rojas, with the tying run at first base. And the pitch is high, 3-0. The 3-0. And that misses for ball 4. So a 4-pitch walk to Rojas. Reimer pushed to second base. A run already in for Millennium in the top of the 3rd, and the batter is Mike Tanucci. Tanucci struck out swinging to end the first inning for Millennium. And the first pitch outside for ball 1. And the next one bounced in there, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. And that pitch over for a strike, and it's 2-1. And the 2-1 is outside. 3 balls and a strike. First and second with 2 outs, a run in for the Tigers. And Tanucci lays off, and a walk loads the bases. Reimer goes to 3rd, Rojas to 2nd, Tanucci at 1st, and a timeout from the Saints dugout as we play in the top of the 3rd. It's 2-1 Notre Dame. Bases loaded for the Tigers with 2 outs in the 3rd. A.J. Diggs steps in. And going after the first one, cues it on the first base side, and it's a foul ball. Umpires want to check the baseball there, just the way that rolled down the first base line. Diggs struck out swinging his first time up, but a golden opportunity here to get Millennium even, or perhaps put him in the lead. The 1-strike pitch. And that's over for a strike, and it's 0-2. 2 hits and 2 walks in the inning. That has led to Millennium's first run. The 0-2. And a swing and a miss. So Lambert comes back to get a strikeout to get out of further trouble in the third. But Millennium scores a run on 2 base hits. They leave the bases loaded. And in the middle of the third inning, Millennium now trails Notre Dame by a score of 2-1. 2, 3, and 4 in the order for Notre Dame as we begin the bottom of the third inning. And Millennium with a pitching change, as the first one to Cooper Samples is over for a strike. Zach Ronan begins the third inning on the mound for the Tigers. The 0-1. And a line shot just past Diggs, and that's into left center field. Samples going to try for 2, and they throw off the mark at second base. A leadoff double for Cooper Samples in the Saints' third inning, and the batter is Devin Durant. Now look back to second base, but no play back there as we get back to play in the third inning. Notre Dame leading 2-1. They've got a runner in scoring position with nobody out. Pitch bounced in, and it's ball 1 to Devin Durant, who was hit by a pitch and scored his first time up. They'll look back to second base in the 1-0 pitch. And that ball hammered out to right field. Going back is Cook. He'll look up. And this one leaves the yard. A 2-run home run for Devin Durant. And Notre Dame gets the run back. +1 here in the third. So a 2-run home run makes it 4-1 Notre Dame. And the batter is Nick Affronti. And the first one to Affronti high for ball 1. And the 1-0 pitch. Popped up out toward the second baseman Rojas. He makes the catch on the grass, and there's one down. First pitch to Ryan Scott over for a strike. And, of course, Scott had the big base hit back in the first inning. A 2-run triple put Notre Dame up 2-0. And that ball scalded out to center field. But that's hauled in center field by Aaron Diggs. It goes a long way to bring that one in, and it's the second out. So Ryan Scott, a couple of hard hit balls. The first one goes for a triple. This one a fly out to center field. And the batter is Duncan Morfitt. Morfitt struck out swinging to end the first. And now he bats with the bases empty and 2 outs in the third inning. And he takes a curveball that misses for ball 1. The 1-0 pitch. That's inside, and it's 2-0. On Duncan Morfitt. And Ronan with the pitch. And a ground ball over on the left side. And no play. Third baseman Lopez came over trying to cut it off, which is what you want your third baseman to do. Anything he can get to, his momentum's going toward first base. But this time he gets over to try to cut it off, and he can't get it clean. And it's an E5. More for the board than at first base with 2 outs, 2 runs in for the Saints in the bottom of the third inning, and the batter is Hunter Bross. And the first one to Bross high for ball 1. Hunter had a base hit his first time up. That led off the second for Notre Dame. The set of the 1-0 pitch. And a check swing and a roller on the first base side. Tanucci's got it with Ronan covering. The side is retired 3-1 on that put out, but Notre Dame gets 2 more runs on a 2-run home run from Devin Durant, and after 3 innings of play, Notre Dame leads Millennium 4-1. Five, 6, and 7 in the order for Millennium in the 4th inning, and Nico Kakludis takes a strike on the outside corner. Swing and a miss for a strike. 1-2 the count. Nico with a fly ball to center field his first time up. The 1-2 pitch. It's a breaking ball. It's bounced in there, and it's 2-2. Now the wind from Lambert in the 2-2. Pretty close on the breaking ball, but called a ball, and it's 3-2. Weems and Diggs to follow for the Tigers in the top of the 4th inning. And that pitch low, and it's ball 4. So a leadoff walk for the Tigers, and Millennium looking for base runners here, trailing 4-1. And we'll see if we get a courtesy runner over at first for Millennium. Haven't seen anybody come out yet, although the catcher is coming off the bag at first. And they're going to leave him out there. So no courtesy runner. Either way, though, we get a hitter here, and it's actually going to be Zach Ronan. He comes in as Millennium made that pitching change to start the bottom of the 3rd. So Ronan bats for the first time. And he goes after the first one and promptly fouls it back and out of play. No balls and a strike. A runner at first base and nobody out for Millennium in the 4th. The bunt shown. The breaking ball is taken high and outside, and it's 1-1. Millennium with their single run in the 3rd inning. Notre Dame scored 2 in the 1st and 2 in the 3rd. That one bounced in. That'll get past Scott. It goes to the backstop. And big turnaround second, but the runner will stop at second base. A wild pitch. Moves the Tiger runner into scoring position. Two and one on Zach Ronan. Lambert looks back to second. The bunt shown again, and this one fouled to the backstop, and it's 2-2. Two and two the count on Ronan, with Aaron Diggs next for the Tigers. And the pitch just off the outside corner. And the count runs full at 3-2. Sent from Lambert in the 3-2 pitch. And it's low for ball 4. So back-to-back walks begin the 4th inning for Millennium. And the batter is Aaron Diggs. And the bunt on, and this one just down the third base line, but foul. No balls and a strike on Diggs. 2 aboard with nobody out for Millennium. Tigers trying to get a little closer here, down 4-1, hitting in the 4th. The 0-1. That's outside, and it's 1-1. Now the sent from Lambert, and the 1-1. And a fly ball hit pretty well into right center field. Long run out there, and it is hauled in by the center fielder, Detroit. And the runner takes off from second and goes to third base. And so a deep fly ball off the bat of Diggs, but Detroit tracks it down. Cleats goes from second to third. And so runners at the corners with 1 out for Jalen Cook. Step to third, look to first. And a swing and a miss for strike 1. Notre Dame play their first game of the night, the first game of the day, I guess, in the tournament. They'll play one more later on as they will face the host school, Desert Ridge. Runner takes off from first base. The bunt attempt not successful, and the steal is. So Ronan goes to second on the stolen base. No balls and 2 strikes the count. But 2 in scoring position now for the Tigers. And that one fouled back. Nothing in 2 on Cook. Gio Lopez next for the Tigers. The pitch. And that's high for a ball, and it's 1-2. Here's Lambert with a set of the 1-2 pitch. And a swing and a miss. So Cook strikes out. And there's 2 away in the Tiger 4th inning. And the batter is Gio Lopez. Lopez taking a little time digging in there. He grounded out to the shortstop Foppy his first time up. And trying to bunt, takes a breaking ball for ball 1. Four to 1. Notre Dame with Millennium batting in the top of the 4th inning and a chance for the Tigers. And that one bounced in, and Scott saves a run as the count goes to 2-0. And he pays the price for that one a little bit. That one got some flush here, pretty solid somewhere, and I always like seeing that. Catcher and the umpire, they kind of in sync with one another with the equipment on back there, and it's kind of target practice for them sometimes with foul balls and balls in the dirt and so forth, and so they take care of each other. If one of them gets hit, the other one will take a little extra time to give him a chance to get his breath back. The 2-0 pitch. And that's outside. 3 balls and no strikes. Well, Millennium scored once in the third, but left the bases loaded. They got runners to second and third in this fourth inning with nobody out, but haven't been able to push a run across. And that pitch a cold strike, and it's 3-1. The 3-1 pitch. That's over for a strike, and it's 3-2. The 3-2 pitch. And a slow ground ball over to the right side. Bobbled. The throw off the mark, and Millennium's going to get a second run in. And the Tigers scored twice on the play on a ground ball to the right side that potentially could have been the final out of the inning, but Samples didn't get it clean. And then the throw on to first base, well wide of the mark, and that brings in a second run. So the Tigers scored twice on the play and trail 4-3. Lopez aboard at second base with 2 outs in the inning. And the batter, Sammy Reimer. Reimer bunting, and he bunts it sharply. Picked up, and the throw to first base is not in time, and it's a bunt base hit for Sammy Reimer. Lopez goes to third on the play, so the Tigers put runners at the corners with 2 outs. They've scored twice in the top of the fourth inning, and the batter is Josh Rojas. Foul ball over on the first base side. Rojas with a fly out in the first inning, and he walked in the third. Yeah, the next pitch high, and it's a ball and a strike. Tigers have scored twice in the fourth inning, a pull within 1 of Notre Dame. Tigers looking for their first pool win in the Cleats Classic. Notre Dame trying to get to 2-1 with 1 more to play. And a ball into foul territory near the end of the Saints dugout, and it's Young with the catch. And the side is retired, so Rojas fouls out to end the fourth inning. Millennium scores twice, though, and in the middle of the fourth inning, Millennium now trails Notre Dame by a score of 4-3. Saints end up 8-9-1 in the order in the home half of the fourth inning, and Devin Young takes a strike on the inside corner. Young, Detroya, and then Foppe for the Saints. The 0-1 pitch and a ground ball picked up by Diggs at shortstop, and the throw to first base in time. And there's one away. And Jimmy Detroya in for the Saints. And he takes a curveball over for a strike. Detroit with a fly out, his first time up. The 1-strike pitch. And a fly ball into shallow right field. Cook is under it, and he puts it away for out number 2. Two outs for the Saints in the fourth inning. Ronan on in relief of Tanucci. Not a great start, but he's definitely settled down as he gets a curveball over for a strike. Gave up a double and a home run to start his appearance, but then settles down. He's retired 5 of the last 6. The 0-1. And a line shot into center field, and that's a base hit. And Poppy with a base hit, his first of the evening after flying out his first 2 times up. He's on at first base with 2 outs for Cooper Samples. Notre Dame leading Millennium 4-3 as we play in the bottom of the fourth inning. Throw to first and the runner back. Samples doubled and scored his last time up as he takes a curveball for a strike. Samples also struck out on the first, so 1 for 2 today. Again, Notre Dame will stay right here on the field and get one more as they will face the host school, Desert Ridge. As one is fouled back and out of play, and it's 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes on Cooper Samples with a runner at first base and 2 away in the Saints' fourth inning. Notre Dame leading Millennium 4-3. Curveball, that's way high. Ronan running off. He thought he had strike 3, but I think that one ended about chest high. But I suppose it doesn't hurt to try. The 1-2 with a runner going, the pitch high, the throw to second base. And boy, the ball just rolls out of the glove of Rojas as he slapped that tag on Foppy going by. And it looked like they might have got him, but not able to hang on to the baseball. So it's a stolen base, and the Saints get a runner into scoring position. They'll look back to second base, the 2-2 pitch. And it's a fastball. It's high, 3-2. Look back to second. The throw back that way. Oh, and out is going to be the call. The throw behind Rojas, and he swings the arm around as Foppy goes back into the bag standing up. And he is picked off to end the fourth inning for Notre Dame. No runs, 1 hit, and nobody left after 4. Notre Dame leads Millennium 4-3. Three, 4, and 5 of the order in the fifth inning for Millennium as Mike Tanucci takes a strike. And a pitch at the knees for a strike, and it's 0-2. New pitcher out there for Notre Dame, Joe Roche, throwing the fifth inning. The 0-2. And looked pretty good on a breaking ball. Called a ball, though, and it's 1-2. Now the 1 and the 1-2. And that's outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And that pitch fouled out of play. Now the 1 and the 2-2. And Tanucci did not go around on the appeal down to the base umpire, and the count's 3-2. Tigers looking for a base runner here in the 5th inning. They trail by just a single run. 4-3 our score in the 5th. And a high pop-up, first base side, foul territory now. And Scott able to make the catch. So Tanucci fouls out to begin the 5th inning for the Tigers, and the batter is A.J. Diggs. And a breaking ball over for a strike to A.J. Diggs. 0 for 2 today, a couple of strikeouts. The 1-strike pitch. That's low, and it's 1-1. And one bounces in there, and it's 2-1. Two and 1 to count on A.J. Diggs. Tigers trailing by 1, hitting in the top of the 5th inning, looking for their first pool win in this 2013 Cleats Classic. And a breaking ball over for a strike, and it's 2-2. And a swing and a miss, and Diggs is out on strikes. 2 away in the inning. So 2 away with the bases empty for the Tigers as they bat in the 5th inning. And the batter is Cleats. And the first pitch over for a strike. The 1 and the 1-strike pitch. And a ground ball, and that's past the third baseman Young and into left field. And it's a 2-out single. Millennium will run for the catcher this time, as Parker McKenzie runs at first base. That first one bounced in for ball one. As Avery Weems is back up there for Millennium. The 1-0 pitch. And that's fouled off, and it's 1-1. 2 outs with a runner at first base in the top of the 5th inning. Weems back in there. Roche looking in. And the pitch is low, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Yeah, both teams obviously fighting for position in the seeding. Notre Dame will try to win out here to improve their seeding, but again, I think it's the top 12 teams, something like that, that are going to advance. And now time called. It's a 15-team tournament. The top 12 advance to the championship tournament bracket. So then you're just trying to finish in the top 12. Runner goes. The pitch was low. The throw right on the money at second base. And runner is gunned out to end the inning. It's a caught stealing to finish the Tiger 5th inning. And after 4.5, Millennium trails Notre Dame by a score of 4-3. 2, 3, and 4 in the order for the Saints in the bottom of the 5th inning. And a couple of changes to tell you about for Millennium, including a new pitcher as Gio Lopez is on to throw the 5th. And a fly ball out to right center field. And that hangs up there. It looked like it might be trouble coming off the bat, but it stayed up there a while, and it was tracked down in right center field. And Cooper samples the first down in the 5th inning. But it's Gio Lopez on to pitch, and Parker McKenzie in the ball game, now playing third base for the Tigers. And Devitt around the left fielder who had a 2-run home run his last time up. And the pitch fouled out of play. The 1-strike pitch. And it's a breaking ball. It's high, and it's 1-1.
Right here. Thank you so much.
You're not in the minority.
Next one bounced in, and it's 2-1. The 2-1 pitch. It's outside, and it's 3-1. Beg your pardon. I guess now just 2-1. And that pitch fouled off. One out, base is empty. Bottom of the 5th inning. Notre Dame leading Millennium 4-3. The 2-2 pitch. Lifted down the left field line. Might be trouble over there, but good play by the shortstop Diggs to get there and pick it up. It's out 2 away in the Saints' 5th inning, and the batter is Nick Affronti. Affronti walked in the first, popped out in the 3rd.
So walk by.
And the pitch misses inside for ball one. And that ball fouled off as it got a piece of a fronty at the plate, and they count 1-1. Saints with 2 runs in the first inning on a 2-run triple from Ryan Scott, and then they scored twice in the third on a 2-run home run from Devin Durant. Millennium with a run in the third inning and 2 in the fourth. Swing and a miss, and it's 1-2. Lopez into the wind and the 1-2 pitch. And a fly ball to right center field. And that's down for a base hit, and it's potentially going to be a triple here as the throw goes to third base. Now it's going to roll away. Fronte thought about going but did not. He stays at third base. You could hear all the way back here somebody call for it. I'm assuming it was the center fielder Diggs. And then he dives and not able to bring it in. So it's a triple for Affronte as he ends up at third base. And the batter is Ryan Scott. Scott with a couple of hard hit balls, a 2-run triple as I just mentioned back in the first inning, and then he hit a deep fly ball to center field in the third. Four, 3 Notre Dame, bottom of the fifth inning, and a chance now for the Saints to get a run as they've got a runner at third base with 2 away. And that's going to do it as that ball goes to the backstop, and Affronte scores on a wild pitch. Now the Saints add 1 in the bottom of the fifth inning and lead 5-3. One and 0 on Ryan Scott. The 1-0 pitch, and that's a swing and a miss, and it's 1-1. Might have been a foul tip there, but ball and a strike to count. Now the wind and the 1-1. And that misses for a ball, 2-1. The 2-1 pitch. That's a called strike, and it's 2-2. The wind of the 2-2. And that's bounced in, and the count's full.
At least you won't run into traffic, though. You'll just be...
3-2 the count on Scott, with the bases empty and 2 outs. And the 3-2, and that's ball 4, and that'll go all the way to the backstop. Scott will head to first and then stop there. And a runner over at first base for Notre Dame. I think it's Steven Cordovano running at first base for the Saints. He's on as a courtesy runner, and the batter is Duncan Morfitt. And the first one over for a strike. Saints with a run in the bottom of the fifth inning. They lead 5-3. Trying to get their second pool win in the Cleats Classic Invitational. And then they've got one more game later on tonight when they face the host school here at Desert Ridge, the Desert Ridge Jaguars. Now 1-1 on Morfitt. And a turn, and Lopez with an easy throw to first base, and Scott's courtesy runner back. And another throw over, that one a little bit wide, and no tag applied. The 1-1 pitch, and a slow tapper on the first base side. Nobody there to cover the bag. And safe at first base on an infield single as I think you get that situation sometimes. You get a guy that maybe doesn't pitch a whole lot, and I'm just assuming here Lopez has played third base the entire first game that we saw Millennium today, and then the first couple of innings, first 4 innings, I guess, of this one, but not quick to get over there. And as soon as Tanucci, the first baseman, committed, you could tell it was going to be trouble. So now 2 aboard with 2 outs and a run in for the Saints, and the batter is Hunter Bross. And Bross takes strike 1. Hunter with a single in the second and then a ground out in the third. Notre Dame's already scored once here in the 5th inning to go up 5-3. And that pitch inside, and it's 1-1. The set on the 1-1 pitch. And that's low, and it's 2 balls and a strike. Lopez looking in as his catcher goes through the signs. A look back to second base in the 2-1. And that's going to get past and go to the backstop. And now 3 balls and a strike on Bross, but 2 in scoring position for the Saints. And really now a great opportunity here. You get that 1 run, and that's nice, but then you want to get a little bit greedy and try to stretch out this lead some more. And a base hit could bring in a couple of runs. 3-1 on Bross. Devin Young next for the Saints. The wind and the 3-1. And that's going to go to the backstop. A wild pitch will bring in a run. And I believe that was ball 4. That was ball 4, but I don't think the plate umpire missed a pitch there. That was ball 4 to Bross. It should have been, but he's going to get another pitch here. And it's fouled away, and the count's 3-2. Well, yeah, that's the second time that they've been off on the count. And a 3-2, an adjusted 3-2. That's off the catcher's glove, and that's ball 5, really, but another run comes in. So Morfitt scores. That's probably a passed ball there. I said that one looked like it could be handled by the catcher. But another runner in, and now time called for Millennium. It's a 3-run 5th inning for Notre Dame, and they lead by 4. So Devin Young in there with a runner at first who takes off. A swing, and that's off the glove of the catcher, but a stolen base as Bross goes into second. Seven to 3 Notre Dame, bottom of the 5th. The 1-strike pitch. That's bounced in as Cleats, the catcher, getting a workout here in the 5th inning. The 1-1. That's outside, and it's 2 balls and a strike. Notre Dame with 2 runs in the first, 2 in the third. They've scored 3 times here in the fifth. Millennium with their run in the third, 2 in the fourth. 7-3 our score. And that pitch over for a strike, and it's 2-2. Now the set from Lopez, and the 2-2 is high. 3 balls and 2 strikes. All this coming with 2 outs for Notre Dame. A fly out and a pop out started the fifth. But a triple, a walk, a single, another walk. Throwing a couple of wild pitches and a pass ball. And another ball 4. So Young walks, and he's at first base for Jimmy DeTroya, and we get a Millennium timeout. We play in the bottom of the 5th inning. Notre Dame leads Millennium 7-3. Millennium stays with Gio Lopez, who puts one over for a strike to Jimmy DeTroya. The 1-strike pitch. And a fly ball into right field. And that's brought in for the final out of the Saints' 5th inning, but Notre Dame scores 3 times to extend the lead after 5 innings of play. It's Notre Dame 7 and Millennium 3. And a pinch hitter for Millennium as we begin the 6th inning. And it's a player not on the roster we've got popped up and just out of play. So a ball and a strike to count. It's 6, 7, and 8 in the order for Millennium in the 6th inning, and now they're chasing 4 runs with 6 outs to work with. The 1-1 pitch. Over for a strike, and it's 1-2. The 1-2 pitch. And a breaking ball. It's outside, and it's 2-2. And the 2-2 pitch. Off the handle, and a soft little line drive caught by Foppe at short. And the line drive, the first out of the 6th inning for the Tigers. And the batter is Aaron Diggs. And the first one maybe a little bit high for a ball to Diggs, who had a single and scored in the 3rd, and then he hit a fly ball out to center field in the 4th. The 1-0 pitch. And a high pop-up. This is in the infield. And it is the 3rd baseman, Young, who calls for it. And there's 2 away for, well, I was going to say Jalen Cook, but another new hitter up there for Millennium. Matt Olgen bats. And he takes a strike over the outside corner. Now the 1-strike pitch. That's outside, and it's 1-1. 2 outs, bases empty. Top of the 6th inning. Millennium trailing Notre Dame 7-3. The 1-1 pitch. Outside, 2-1. The wind and the 2-1. And that's high with a breaking ball, 3-1. Tigers looking for a base runner here with 2 outs in the 6th. The 3-1 pitch. Over the outside corner, a strike, and it's 3-2. And Roche back to the wind of the 3-2 pitch. And a swing and a miss as Olgan strikes out, and that ends the Millennium 6th inning. They go 3 up and 3 down. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Tigers trail the Saints 7-3. Top of the order for the Saints in the bottom of the 6th inning. Kobe Foppe leads off. And he takes the first pitch for ball 1. Foppe, Samples, and Durant, the top of the order for the Saints in the 6th. Then there's a ground ball, and that's a base hit in the left field. Yeah, Cooper Samples set to step in for the Saints in the bottom of the 6th. A pretty good lead over there, and they throw to first. Not quite in time. And that pitch over for a strike, and it's 0-1. 7-3 Notre Dame, batting at the bottom of the 6th. The leadoff man aboard at first base. Throw to first, and he gets back. We'll have at least one elimination game tomorrow here on Southwest Sports Network. Part of the Cleats Classic Invitational. And then we'll have at least the 2 semifinals plus the championship game on Thursday. As Foppe took off, Samples tried to bunt, and he bunted it foul, and it's strike 2. And a breaking ball over the outside corner, near it anyway for a called 3rd strike. And Samples as the first out in the Saints' 6th inning. And the batter, Devin Durant. Runner bluffs and does not go, and it's a little pop-up on the left side of the infield. That's Scott for the 2nd out. It's Josh Rojas over there at 3rd base now for Millennium as he put away that pop-up. 2 outs for Nick Affronti. And Affronti laces one into center field, and that'll be another base hit for Notre Dame, and it'll put 2 runners aboard. For Affronti, his 2nd hit of the day, plus a walk. And 2 aboard with 2 outs for Ryan Scott. breaking ball over for a strike. Well, Notre Dame really opened it up with 3 runs in the bottom of the 5th inning. They were up 4-3 going into the bottom of the 5th and left up 7-3, and they're going to get another one here as Scott puts a ball into right center field. 1 run will score as the throw comes plateward. So an RBI single for Ryan Scott as Poppy scores to make it 8-3. And the pitch gets away, and Notre Dame's going to get another run. It's a strike to Duncan Morfitt, but Clutis not able to corral it. And another run is in. It's a 2-spot now in the 6th, and Notre Dame leads 9-3. Yeah, the next pitch outside for a ball. It's 1-1. Scott's courtesy runner also moved up on the play, so he's at second base. And a check swing and a grounder foul on the first base side. Notre Dame leading 9-3 as they bat at the bottom of the 6th inning. Saints will play one more pool game as they will face the Desert Ridge Jaguars. Breaking ball not offered at. Morfitt able to hold up. 2-2 the count. And that's low, 3-2. And Millennium thought that one was even more obvious that Morfitt offered there. But it's tough for the base umpire being on the shortstop side of the mound out there. He's not getting much of an angle to look at it. And a fly ball out to center field, but they had the center fielder shaded over toward right center, and the deep fly ball has got to retire the side. Notre Dame scores 2. We go to the 7th. Saints up 9-3. 9-1-2 in the order for Millennium in the 7th. And the first pitch, a ground ball rolled out towards second to throw low, and not able to pick it up at first base, an E4. So the leadoff man aboard. It took a Notre Dame miscue, but Millennium gets the lead off runner on. And they needed a bunch of base runners here in the 7th inning. Down 7-3. And the first pitch, a little bit low for ball 1. Another guy not on our roster here for Millennium. Pitch over for a strike, and it's 1-1. O'Shea with the set and the 1-1 pitch. Boy, taking a lot of time out there, and he steps off. The 1-1. And that's fouled off, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. And Roche steps off again. And turn and an easy throw to first base. Notre Dame 9 and Millennium 3. Tigers hitting in the top of the 7th inning. And a breaking ball outside, and it's 2-2. The 2-2 pitch. Popped up, and this will get foul and out of play. And we're out of baseballs. And another one fouled back to the screen. Another 2-2 pitch coming. And a swing and a miss and a strikeout. So now the first down of the 7th inning, a runner still at first. And another Millennium pinch hitter. Logan Graves bats. And the first pitch outside for ball one. Now the 1-0 pitch. And that's hit out to center field. Plenty of room out there in center, though, and Detroit has the catch, and there's 2 away. Runner still at first base with 2 outs. And yet another pinch hitter, Seth Nash. He is at the plate. And he takes the first pitch for strike 1. Millennium in some trouble here. They got to within 4-3 going into the bottom of the 5th inning, but Notre Dame scored 3 in the 5th and 2 in the 6th. And 9-3 is the score. And the fastball is high, and it's 1-1. Shea looking in. Now they set, and the 1-1 pitch coming up. And time called. Tigers down to their final out here in the 7th inning with a runner at first base. The 1-1. And that's hit pretty well out to center field. Detroit over, though, and he gets under it to make the catch, and the side is retired. Leadoff hitter got aboard on an error, and he's left at first base, and we go final as Millennium falls to Notre Dame by a score of 9-3. For Millennium, 3 runs in the ball game on 3 hits. They commit 2 errors and leave 6. Notre Dame scores 9 runs on 10 hits. They commit 3 errors and they leave 6 runners on base. Millennium finishes their pool play at 0-4 in the Cleats Classic Invitational. Notre Dame sits now at 2 wins and 1 loss, and they've got one more coming up here tonight right after they get the field all cleaned up. Well, they'll go again anyway, as Notre Dame will face off against the Desert Ridge Jaguars. So that'll do it. Again, our final score, it's Notre Dame 9 and Millennium 3 from Desert Ridge High School in Mesa. Todd Garbison for Southwest Sports Network saying so long, and we'll talk to you tomorrow in elimination play in the 2013 Cleats Classic Invitational.